Hi, I'm Daniel, Chief Operating Officer of City Oil Field. Let's start right off.
These are the current methods for plastic waste treatment. Incineration, which burns the plastics, landfill, which you bury it underground, and traditional pyrolysis, which you melt them. For incineration, smoke is inevitable, and it causes civil complaints global-wise. In the case of landfill, especially for South Korea, there is a limit of space causing regional conflicts. Lastly, as you can see on the screen, traditional pyrolysis is just another incineration method that requires additional fuel for combustion. And when you ignite using a burner, it catches fire from the inside, then rotates, burning what's inside evenly. Since it is also a combustion method which can be proven by the facilities having chimney, it can never be smoke-free. To wrap up, incineration, landfill, and pyrolysis are the three existing plastic waste treatment methods. We, the City Oil Field, does not burn, bury, or melt plastic waste. Therefore, City Oil Field has a disruptive technology with benefits and cost advantage compared to existing technologies. When heat energy under 300 degrees is transferred to ceramic balls attached at inner part of the RGO facility, it then emits strong wave energy, cutting the plastic molecular rings and restoring it to the original form, which is oil. City Oil Field's technology is a completely different one than the traditional ones. Three differences are operation temperature, non-combustion type using only electricity, and lastly, environmentally friendly facility with no chimney for the whole process. Currently, City Oil Field has completed all empirical studies using the joint demonstration facilities established with Korean government agency called Metropolitan Landfill Site Management Corporation. Through this site, we have acquired 2 patents and a new excellent technology certification for the whole process after a strict screening by the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Energy on 2021, December 7th. This is City Oil Field's RGO technology, which stands for Regenerated Green Oil. It is composed of a primary decomposition treatment facility and a secondary refining facility. This is our first decomposition facility that produces liquid heavy oil from solid waste. As you can see on the diagram, circles represent ceramic balls, and the red one being the heater rod. As the electric heater rod heats inner temperature till 270 degrees, ceramic balls will react by emitting wave that only affects the decomposes the molecular structure of plastic into oil mist, whatever the input was. It is then stored in an intermediate storage tank as the heavy oil through a condenser. This is our second refining facility. It refines heavy oil from first facility into refined oil to a customer satisfactory level. Looking at the diagram, blue colored is where the ceramic balls are. Cracking reaction happens when liquefied heavy oil makes contact with the ceramic balls, transforming it into light oil. To summarize, solid waste plastic is decomposed into 9 to 40 carbon ring heavy oil through first catalytic reaction, which then is decomposed into 9 to 15 carbon ring light oil through second catalytic reaction. This is our plant layout for the 24-ton facility, one set. If necessary, multiple sets can be infinitely expanded in parallel. To wrap it up, collected waste is put into City Oil Field's RGO process. Then, extraction of oil as raw material undergoes, and remaining residues can be used as solid fuel. The raw material is reused to make plastic, completing a chemical recirculation. From the next page, I will give you a detailed explanation of non-traditional city oil field facilities by comparing them with traditional pyrolysis techniques. As you can see on the left, pyrolysis technology requires auxiliary fuel for combustion, whereas city oil field's RGO system is non-combustion type, needing no other than electricity. Input method is also different, with city oil field's RGO system being fully automatic and traditional pyrolysis being manual. Unlike traditional pyrolysis, which is still manually done, doors were also automated, which can be opened with just a press of a button inside a safe operating room. For the energy source, burners are used to heat until 1000 degrees for traditional pyrolysis, but city oil field has indirect heating facilities which uses only electricity, being excluded from air pollutant emission facilities. Traditional pyrolysis systems are classified as an incineration facility by the Ministry of Environment of Korea. But, on the other hand, indirect heating facilities that use only electricity, such as city oil field, are excluded from air pollutant emission facilities under the Clean Air Conservation Act. Furthermore, rotary kiln method that evenly burns raw materials is used for traditional pyrolysis. City oil field facilities are fixed, so it is convenient with little vibration or noise, and above all, safe. The city oil field cooling method ensures both stability and safety in a way that allows internal temperature control through the blower to enable continuous process operation. This was possible because our equipment is fixed type that does not rotate. In addition, city oil field has refining facility that produces high quality refined oil from first decomposition treatment facility, which no other traditional pyrolysis facility does. Last but not least, black smokes are emitted from combustion type traditional pyrolysis, but city oil field is a sealed process having no chimney, so it's relatively eco-friendly. City oil field has been inspected by an investigative agency sent by the Ministry of Environment to conduct a 24-hour inspection to determine whether gas was generated between the actual operations. Results show that there are virtually no air pollutants by being tested below 2%. Regarding the air pollution test standard, all the categories were below the atmospheric emission standard. When pure plastic such as PE, PP, PS, and others is input, 80% or more is restored into high-quality refined fuel, which can be used to make polymer raw material. And for mixed waste, approximately 40% is restored. Remaining 40% residue is not ash, but carbide that can be used as solid fuel because it remains intact. In the end, refined fuel oil can be used as industrial fuel for power generation facilities and factories. And polymer materials can be used as raw materials for remaking plastic in GS and Hanwha. This is a test report from K-Petrol for refined fuel oil. You can see it as a diesel and kerosene quality-wise under the Petroleum and Alternative Fuel Business Act. Korean government-owned power plant has tested whether city oil field's refined oil can be used as a fuel oil for its power plant. In particular, they also conducted a test on whether harmful substances were generated during the combustions, and the test results show that there were no harmful substances at all, with a total of 0 of dioxin and furan. For GS Group, city oil field has been supplied waste from GS Construction. Then the naphtha produced from city oil field RGO facility is taken by the GS Caltex to produce plastic lunchboxes. So Environmental Corporation has announced this as a practical example of material recirculation and chemical recycling. These are the residues after the mixed plastic waste input. Exterior of instant noodle bags are restored into oil, and inner aluminum is at a recyclable status. Letters and pictures on paper cups and newspaper are intact in a form of carbide that contains an energy source. This is evidence that only plastic components were decomposed using wave energy, not combustion. These carbide residues go through segregation where heavy metals, scrap metals, sand were settled. Only light carbon components floated on the water. These carbon components were analyzed and was determined as charcoal, which had a calorific value of 5,000 to 9,000 kilocalories that satisfies all of the Korean solid fuel quality standards. This is a report that the residues can be used as solid fuel, according to an analysis by the government institution. Currently, various local governments in Korea are trying to use city oil fields, RGO facilities, as a pre-treatment concept. If all wastes that are being incinerated are first put into city oil field facilities, then half of the waste, which is mostly plastics, will be decomposed by the wave energy emitted from the ceramic balls, and they will be restored to high-quality refined oil in an eco-friendly way which can be sold. And if you incinerate the remaining that's not plastic, you can reduce the amount of incineration by half, and you can incinerate it by generating less environmental hazards. Lastly, Jeju Samdasu, Korea's largest bottled water company, has conducted a public campaign to deal with labels and lids that are currently not being processed other than PET bottles that are well recycled, using the city oil field RGO method. Companies that deal with plastic across Korea or world can actualize ESG management using cases such as Jeju Samdasu as a role model.
Thank you. And if you have further questions, feel free to contact us.